100% on Rotten Tomatoes, 9 out of 10 on IMDb, and an overall audience rating score of 4.9 out of 5. We haven't seen these kind of ratings since Avatar the Last Airbender. With one of the best voice acting casts known to date, an incredibly written and brilliantly heartfelt script that has redefined storytelling, combined with the unique mix of 2D and 3D animation styles and techniques, it has set a whole new standard for the animation industry. And don't even get me started on the mind-bending soundtrack for both seasons. But despite all that, the question remains, was Arcane truly a success? Welcome to Cartoon Artwork. I'm Arty. Now sit down and listen to what I have to say. I mean, you clicked on the video. Arcane, the League of Legends-based animated series that has redefined storytelling in a number of significant ways. Arcane delves deep into character arcs, giving them depth and believability. The humanization of characters such as Vi, Jinx, Caitlyn, and Victor, just to name a few, is achieved by offering glimpses of their multifaceted backstories, internal problems, and motives. These characters change throughout time, and their choices and actions are influenced by relationships, trauma, and personal development, as opposed to many typical animated series or video game adaptations. Although Arcane contains fantasy and action elements, it doesn't hold back from delving into difficult, mature subjects like trauma, addiction, sorrow, and mental health. Characters like Jinx and Vi are shown struggling with personal demons, which makes their storyline more relatable and nuanced. In contrast to many other animated series or video game adaptations that often lack emotional depth, Arcane sensitively tackles these problems rather than glorifying violence or oversimplifying emotional struggles. Multiple timelines and different perspectives are interconnected in the show's non-linear storytelling technique. It's not a straightforward tale of good versus evil, or even a hero's journey. Instead, Arcane depicts a lot of morally gray areas, where each character's decisions are influenced by their unique life experiences. For instance, the viewer is able to sympathize with Jinx, even if they, disagree with her actions, since her journey into insanity and anarchy is presented through intricate emotional arcs rather than just merely a descent into criminality. Arcane is truly about connections, and its characters are heavily inspired by them, especially friendships, familial bonds, and the power of love. The show's central theme itself is the sisterly bond between Vi and Jinx, which is explored with great and accurate emotional depth. Finally, some realistic representation of sisterly love. Oh god, look at that punch. A more captivating, engaging experience is made possible by this emphasis on connections, rather than merely action or plot. The way Arcane uses music enhances the story's emotional moments. Not only do songs like Enemy and Playground serve as background music, but they also mirror the characters' emotions and the series' themes. Each scene's tone is set by the music, which also supports the character and world building. This is just one more instance of how the show combines all three elements: visual, narrative, and audio, to create a more fluid narrative. Now for the visuals. Here are some key ways Arcane has reshaped the animation industry as we know it today. Arcane creates an aesthetically stunning world by combining a special kind of 2D and 3D animation. The series has a unique, impressionistic look that makes it look like concept art come to life, because it uses a technique known as hand-painted textures in 3D models. The people and locations are produced in 3D, but the 2D-style brushstrokes and shading make it appear more like a hand-drawn illustration. In contrast to traditional animation, this blending of genres maintains a cinematic, artistic experience while allowing complex depth and texture. Many people praise Arcane for its avant-garde art direction, dynamic color schemes, expressive character designs, and amazing environmental attention to detail. The show's world building blends fantasy and steampunk elements to create a complex, immersive setting that seems both alive and firmly grounded in its rules. Each scene's tone influences the color scheme. For example, Zaun, the Undercity, is dark and dirty with neon highlights giving it a gritty and dangerous feel, whereas Piltover, the wealthier city, is frequently illuminated with dazzling, gold-hued lighting to symbolize prosperity and hope. Arcane's facial animation is one of its most notable traits. Arcane's facial expressions have been shown with remarkable accuracy thanks to sophisticated technology, delivering subtle, in-depth emotional representation. It makes it easier for viewers to relate to the characters since it gives them a very natural approach to life. The level of detail in facial animation allows for delicate expressions, from tiny twitches in the eyes to full emotional outbursts. As a result, the storyline gains more emotional weight and reality as a result of this depth of expression. Dynamic action scenes are Arcane's forte, combining fluid animation with meticulously planned scenarios. These scenes are captivating and exhilarating because of the fast-paced, fluid moments and powerful visuals. The action is made more vivid by the frequent mimicry of cinematic camera angles and movements. The action is both stylish and realistic thanks to the meticulously designed battle scenes, which includes exaggerated yet realistic physics. Now, coming back to the 2D and 3D animation style, we really have to pay tribute to the studio that made it possible. Fortiche Productions was crucial in creating a groundbreaking visual storytelling and animation style that have earned the series its recognition. Fortiche was chosen to oversee the animation for Arcane due to their proficiency in combining 2D and 3D animation techniques, and its creative use of visual narrative. Now, this partnership on Arcane was made possible by the studio's prior work on a number of cinematic trailers for Riot Games. You know, the company that is behind League of Legends. I played once. Yeah, that was enough. But Fortiche has already proven their ability to produce emotionally charged and engaging cinematic animations with their magnificent League of Legends teasers. Fortiche Productions' reputation as one of the world's most inventive animation studios has been cemented by the success of Arcane. The series' visual design, storyline, and animation quality have won it considerable praise from critics. The increasing demand for top-notch animated series that experiment with visual aesthetics and storylines is evidence of this influence. And because of this, we won't just be potentially getting one spin-off show, but 3 more. I am already so excited about Noxus. And if you haven't seen it yet, oh my god, do it. I'll put a link in the description below because
I love you.
Is this a show for kids? Class conflict, social injustice, pain, corruption, and mental turmoil are just a few of the sophisticated, nuanced subjects that Arcane examines. The program delves into profound, relatable tales that are both captivating and thought-provoking. These topics are frequently seen in live-action dramas, where Arcane shows that animation is capable of handling the same depth of plot and emotion. Aside from dealing from moral ambiguity, loss, and growth, the show also features sophisticated characters that add layers of complexity that are generally found in adult-oriented television. The idea that animation is only for kids will be called into question by this level of storytelling. Arcane doesn't just tell a story about individuals, it immerses viewers in the politics, economic, and social divergence of Piltover and Zaun. This series highlights class conflicts, corruption, and inequality as it examines the power relationships between the wealthy Piltover and the underprivileged Zaun. These themes give the story and setting more depth because they are weaved into the narrative in a natural way rather than one that feels forced. It also makes it more digestible for adults. So, depends if the kid's mature. Otherwise, no. Such a level of development is uncommon, especially among game adaptations. Despite being based on League of Legends, which caters mostly to gamers, Arcane is able to break through the market. Animation is no longer simply for children, as evidenced by the series' numerous awards and nominations. Its popularity throughout the world, particularly in North America and Europe, where both League of Legends fans and newbies found enjoyment in the series, shows how widely appealing animated programming is to adults. The conversation around animation is changing as a result of this. So why were we not able to get masterpieces like Arcane before now? Did production value have something to do with it? The show cost $250 million, making it the most expensive animated series to date. That's like $3 million per episode. And being a Netflix original series, Arcane profited from the streaming service's enormous global membership base. The show reportedly ranked #1 in several regions, including the US, and did remarkably well in international markets, despite the fact that Netflix normally doesn't provide precise audience figures. Arcane significantly increased Riot Games' brand awareness. The series, which served as an introduction to the League of Legends universe, drew in new players and encouraged returning ones. I'm so sorry about that. Due to the show's success, League of Legends and his sister games such as Teamfight, Tactics, and Legends of Runeterra have seen an uprising in popularity. Studies and industry experts have indicated that Arcane helped boost player engagement and probably resulted in more in-game purchases, such as skins, characters, and other microtransitions. The series' financial success is also aided by Arcane's soundtrack, which includes original compositions by musicians like Imagine Dragons. The album charted on Billboard and streaming services, demonstrating its considerable commercial success. Arcane's popularity and marketability were further enhanced by its critical praise and nominations for awards, including the Annie Awards and Golden Globes, which raised interest in the series and its associated material. And finally, the social and cultural impact Arcane has had on fandom culture. The concept art and illustrations that form the basis of Arcane have influenced other digital artists and illustrators. Piltover and Zon's colorful, intricately detailed world has served as a template for artists working in a variety of media, encouraging them to produce realistic and imaginative artworks. This effect has also shown in fan art, where creators are interpreting the settings and characters in their own unique way, while honoring the richness of Arcane's aesthetics and emotional depth. Pieces influenced by Arcane's visual aesthetics can be seen on websites like ArtStation, where a large number of professional artists post their work. Digital artists are particularly drawn to the intricate textures, layered compositions, and the use of light and shadow. And from animation to illustration to game design and digital art, a new generation of artists have been motivated to push the limits of their own work by its cinematic style, emotional depth, and inventive animation techniques, proving that animation can be a flexible, sophisticated, and potent storytelling medium. So in conclusion, Arcane was a huge success in every way. It received critical acclaim for its innovative plot and animation, performed well commercially in terms of viewing and in-game sales, and had a big cultural influence by defying animated series norms. It also helped create a new model for turning video games into high-caliber animated content, and favorably impacted League of Legends brand expansion. And if you still have doubts, just look at the memes. Look at them, they're hilarious. Thank you so much for listening, and if you haven't had a chance to watch Arcane, I highly recommend you do. And in the meantime, I'm gonna find a way to have both of these soundtracks injected into my very fibers. But don't forget to like and share, and hit that bell icon for notifications. Comment down below. And please, subscribe. We're almost at 100 subscribers. I still can't believe it. As always, good luck with your art.